come on this show? Because I love the show.
It's not a lot lately.
But why are we talking about Joe like I'm surprised? You surprised he's bad?
I'm not surprised.
He's only been good for like a year or two in his whole career, for real.
Shady, he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl.
And
put some respect on his name, please.
I'm just being honest, bro. I'm just being honest. I never thought Joe Flacco was a superstar type quarterback.
12.
He had one great
11
postseason.
touchdowns, no interceptions, en route to winning a Super Bowl.
He had no great years, but he had that postseason. He was like, oh, wow, it's pretty good. But like now, he's never, like, it's Joe Flacco we talking about.
What you want him to do? Go to Dylan Gabriel? That's the backup.
You know they should go to.
That's the backup.
On a serious note, I would love for Shedeur to play, but I'm okay with playing a younger quarterback. If it's Dylan Gabriel, I'm okay with that. Like, let's see what the future has for us. There's no future with Joe. There's no presence with Joe. Joe bad. He was terrible last year. Last year they bitched. What's the young quarterback from the Colts?
Talking about
young quarterback.
Anthony Richardson?
Richardson.
Yeah.
And then Joe got in there and he was god awful.
He was bad.
Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl champion once upon a time. But right now, he looks awful. Let's not sugarcoat it. The guys on SpeakEasy didn't even try to dance around it. They went straight to the point. Flacco looks terrible out there. And honestly, how surprised are you? Are you really shocked that Joe Flacco, a man who has been more average than elite for most of his career, is struggling in Cleveland? They asked the hard question on the show, why are we even surprised? This isn't prime Flacco anymore. This is an aging quarterback who, outside of that magical postseason run with Baltimore, has looked like nothing more than a placeholder. And now Browns fans are being asked to pretend there's still juice left in the tank? Come on. But here's where things get controversial. The panel didn't just bury Flacco. They shifted fast to the one question that has been buzzing around Cleveland. Who's next? Is it Dylan Gabriel, the young rookie who's supposed to be the safe, steady option? Or is it Shedeur Sanders, the flashy name with the pedigree, the son of Deion, primetime, Sanders, the quarterback who already carries a spotlight bigger than most veterans in the league? And right here, this is where the whole conversation explodes. Because as much as we want to laugh at Joe Flacco's decline, this isn't about him anymore. This is about Shedeur Sanders and whether Cleveland should throw him into the fire. The Browns don't just have a quarterback problem, they have a quarterback identity crisis. But wait, let's talk receipts. Just last year, Flacco was so bad in Indianapolis that he actually made fans start believing in Anthony Richardson again. Think about that. Richardson, a rookie who looked shaky, suddenly looked better just because Flacco played worse. That's how far this has gone. So Browns fans are watching this mess and wondering, how long do we keep doing this? How long do we let an old quarterback hold back the future? And the panel said it straight. Flacco doesn't even deserve 1 or 2 more games. He's done. Cleveland has to move on. But the debate is to whom? Is it Dylan Gabriel, the rookie with a reputation as a steady hand? Or is it Shedeur Sanders, the polarizing, headline-grabbing young QB who has already made waves before even playing a snap in the NFL? Let me ask you right now, if you're the Browns coach, who would you rather want to see on that field? Gabriel, the safe option, or Shedeur, the explosive unknown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because here's where it gets spicy. A report came out, yes, you heard it right, that the Baltimore Ravens actually tried to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. They wanted him behind Lamar Jackson. But Shedeur? He said no. He didn't want to sit behind Lamar. He didn't want to be a backup. And that right there tells you everything about who Shedeur is. Some people hated it. Some people called him arrogant. But others? Others respected the hell out of it. Because who really wants to be drafted just to sit behind a superstar? Who wants to waste the prime of their career waiting for an injury that may never come? This is the DNA of Shedeur Sanders. Raised by Deion. Raised to believe in himself. Raised to walk into the league not as a backup, but as a starter. Shedeur doesn't want to carry a clipboard, he wants to carry a franchise. But let's slow it down. Because the panel made a fair point. Every rookie quarterback outside of the top picks usually starts as a backup. You wait. You serve your time. You grind until your chance comes. That's the old way. That's the info most of us grew up watching. But Shedeur? He's not here for the old way. He's here for his way. And that brings us right back to Cleveland. Because whether you like it or not, The Browns are actually the perfect storm for him. Flacco is washed. Gabriel is unproven. And the fans? The fans are restless. This is the kind of chaos where a bold move can change everything. So let me throw this question to you. Was Shedeur right to turn down Baltimore? Was he smart to bet on himself and aim for a place like Cleveland, where the path to the field is wide open? Or should he have played it safe, sat behind Lamar, and waited for his time?
I agree with there's no path to play in Baltimore. There's no path to play in Baltimore. The examples you listed, we're talking about Drew Bledsoe, we're talking about Dak Prescott. They got in because of injury. And I'm sorry, for as talented as Drew Bledsoe might have been in the first $100 million quarterback, he's not Lamar Jackson. Tony Romo's on the tail end of his career. He's not Lamar Jackson. Like I said yesterday, Lamar Jackson's arm could fall off. They would try to heal that sucker and put him back out there on the field before they put anyone else on. I'm sorry, like he's different. And I do agree. I think he is in a better position. Right now, you got Joe Flacco, who's playing like garbage, and you got Dylan Gabriel, who might play like garbage ahead of you, and then I have to go to you. Lamar Jackson, barring injury, you weren't even sure you were going to be in that position. Maybe you were in the same position where you're sitting behind their backup as well. I think there's a way better path for him to play in Cleveland. Cleveland, yes, it sucks. You're playing for the Browns. Every quarterback that got drafted to the Browns, I'm sorry, they stink. But he's going to play much quicker than he would have in Baltimore.
But are you better? See, I think we're being too short-sighted, though. I think we're looking through the peephole, not opening up the door. I think we're being too short-sighted. Are you better off going to a Ravens organization? Lamar, he gets injured more often than not. Not that I want him to get injured, but he misses time game to game today, right? Tyler Huntley has gotten some snaps behind Lamar Jackson, along with a couple other.
Now, here's what makes this story even juicier. The panel didn't hold back. They reminded us, Cleveland has never produced a great quarterback. Never. Baker Mayfield flashed, sure. But it never lasted. Every quarterback who's put on that uniform eventually fades. So the question becomes, is Shedeur walking into a graveyard? Or is he the one who finally breaks the curse? That's the drama of this entire thing. Because yes, the Ravens are stable. Yes, Lamar Jackson is a superstar. But Shedeur would have had no chance to play there. Lamar's arm could fall off and they'd still try to strap him back on the field. That's how locked in he is as the face of that franchise. But in Cleveland? One more bad Flacco game, one more shaky Gabriel start, and suddenly the chants begin. We want Shedeur. We want Shedeur. And once those chants start, it's only a matter of time. This isn't just about football. It's about timing, pride, and destiny colliding in Cleveland. And the panel knew it. Some of them said Shedeur is better off exactly where he is. Others said it's short-sighted, that he should have gone to Baltimore and learned the ropes behind a Hall of Famer in the making. But again, here's the Shedeur factor. He doesn't think like the old generation. He thinks like the new one. Micah Parsons sat out. Jamar Chase sat out. Travis Hunter controlled his own path. This new wave of players, they don't wait for the league to tell them when they're ready. They decide for themselves. And that's exactly what Shedeur did. So let me ask you, do you respect Shedeur's decision to control his career? Or do you think he made a mistake rejecting a franchise as stable as Baltimore? So let's get deeper into this quarterback storm brewing in Cleveland. Because let's be real, the Browns aren't just choosing between Flacco, Gabriel, and Shedeur. They're choosing their future identity as a franchise. And right now, that identity looks shaky. Joe Flacco is a relic. Dylan Gabriel is the safe option. The kid you put in when you want stability, not sparks. But Shedeur Sanders? He's the wild card. He's the guy who can turn a fan base upside down in one press conference. And sometimes, that's exactly what a franchise like Cleveland needs. Think about the parallels here. Baker Mayfield walked into Cleveland with a chip on his shoulder. He was fiery, he was brash, and he gave fans hope. For a brief moment, it worked. The dog pound believed. But when it fell apart fast. Now the Browns have a chance to do it again, only this time, with Shedeur Sanders. And here's the kicker. Shedeur has something Baker never had. He has prime time in his corner. Don't underestimate that. Deion Sanders has turned Colorado, a program buried in irrelevance, into the most talked-about college football team in the nation. Every camera, every headline, every conversation, it all started because Deion knew how to build hype, how to command attention, how to make you care even when the record didn't justify it. Imagine that same energy coming to Cleveland. Imagine Shedeur walking onto that field, backed by Dion's presence, backed by the noise, backed by the media machine that follows him everywhere. That's not just a quarterback switch. That's a franchise rebirth. If Cleveland dares to start Shedeur, they're not just starting a QB, they're starting a movement. Now, critics will say he's not ready. They'll scream that he hasn't played an NFL snap. They'll remind you that the Browns' offensive line is shaky, that their history of ruining young quarterbacks is longer than their list of playoff wins. And you know what? They're not wrong. Cleveland has destroyed promising careers before. But here's the truth, Shedeur Sanders isn't walking in blind. He's been groomed for this moment since birth. From youth football, to Jackson State, to Colorado, every step of his career has been magnified. Every throw analyzed. Every decision scrutinized. He's already lived under the kind of microscope that most rookies don't face until year 3. So when people ask if he's ready, I laugh. Ready? He's been more ready than half the veterans who will start this season. But the Browns have to make a decision. Do they play it safe with Dillon Gabriel? Or do they embrace the chaos, ignite the fanbase, and give Shedeur Sanders the keys? Because here's what nobody wants to admit. If Gabriel gets the nod, the clock is ticking. The fans won't sit quietly. The chants for Shedeur will only grow louder with every incomplete pass Gabriel throws. And once the crowd turns, it's over. Coaches can't resist that kind of pressure. Let's address the elephant in the room. Some people call Shedeur entitled for rejecting Baltimore. They say he should have been grateful just to get drafted. They say he should have learned behind Lamar. But I'll flip that right now. How many quarterbacks have we seen waste away as backups? How many guys never get their shot because they sat too long behind a superstar? Shedeur made a business decision. A career decision. A prime decision. He said, I'm not here to waste years. I'm here to play. And honestly, that's the kind of mindset that separates stars from seat fillers. Look, I get it. Old school fans hate it. They want rookies to earn their stripes, to wait their turn. But the game has changed. We're in an era where players control their own destiny. And Shedeur is the face of that movement. Call it arrogance if you want, but in the NFL, arrogance often looks a lot like destiny. Now let's not pretend this is risk-free. If Shedeur gets his shot too early and fails, the critics will swarm. They'll say he was overhyped. They'll say he wasn't ready. They'll say he should have sat behind Lamar. That's the danger here. But what if he succeeds? What if he steps on that field, lights up defenses, and proves he belongs? Then Cleveland becomes the epicenter of the NFL. Then suddenly the Browns aren't the joke of the league anymore. They're the future. And that's the gamble. That's why this debate is bigger than football. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie quarterback. He's a storyline. He's a brand. He's a symbol of a new generation that refuses to wait in line. So let me ask you, would you throw him out there now? Would you risk it all to see if he's the spark Cleveland's been waiting for? Or would you protect him, let Gabriel take the hits, and bring Shedeur in when the storm settles? Because make no mistake, the storm is coming. Joe Flacco isn't stopping it. Dillon Gabriel isn't delaying it. The chants are inevitable. The pressure is inevitable. And once Shedeur Sanders walks on that field in a Browns uniform, the NFL will never look at Cleveland the same way again. So here's my final thought. Joe Flacco's time is done. Dillon Gabriel may hold the clipboard for now, but he's not the answer. The answer, the real answer, might just be Shedeur Sanders. He's brash. He's bold. He's unapologetic. But sometimes, that's exactly what it takes to change a losing culture. The Browns can either play it safe, or they can play it prime. So I'll leave you with this. Is it finally Shedeur time in Cleveland? Or will the Browns do what they always do, play it safe, stall the future, and regret it for years to come? Drop your answers in the comments. I want to hear from the dog pound. I want to hear from Shedeur fans. And I want to hear from every single person who still believes Cleveland can't get this right. Because love him or hate him, one thing is clear, Shedeur Sanders isn't waiting for an invitation. He's coming. Like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe to Gridiron Insights for more NFL's exciting updates.